Hello class, welcome back. By now you should have your website at least started and you're kind of starting to use it like a sandbox and start creating, and I'm going to be helping you out on the Skype sessions as far as if you do get stuck, but you should be just about done. And then also with your Etsy, you should have that done and up, and we'll go over that in the Skype call this weekend. Moving along, we're going to now that we have a site and we kind of understand the basics of building the site, a lot of that is just trial and error and you will learn on your own. But next is optimizing your site. And I want to start with the way that people used to find things. People used to find things using the yellow pages. It was this big, thick book that everyone got, and you would open the yellow pages up, and inside you'd look for a plumber, or you'd look for local shops, or you would use this little book to find things that you need, to questions that you needed answer, or services that you needed at the time, or products that you needed at the time. And all that has changed. The majority of thing people do now is they go on a search engine like Google and they look for products. And so today I want to talk all about optimizing your website so that people can find your website, because what's the point of a website if no one knows about it? And that's what we're going to be doing, is doing some basics of optimization. Now this is a really dense subject, but I just want to get the basics done that I think you could do. It doesn't require an expert to do, and so rather than paying somebody else to do it, you could do it on your own. So to get started, we're going to be talking about search engine optimization. And you might have also heard the word SEO, and that's just the abbreviation for it. Now, I just want to show you this Google page that's right in front of us. You'll notice that these top 4 listings say ad. So this is a paid listing, meaning that they paid Google in order to be here. And that's a whole subject on its own, which is pay per click advertising, that you can pay to be on the front of Google. But below the paid section here, everything below this that I have highlighted is called organic, meaning that these people are not paying anything to be here at all. There's some more ad space on the bottom that you can pay to be there, but again, these people aren't paying to be there. And most people want to be on the front of so as you can see, the person in the front gets 33%, then the next listing below that gets about 18, and so after, if you're not in the top 6 positions, I mean, no one's ever going to find your website. So the whole idea is that we want people to find your website. And in order to do that, you do need to optimize your website, especially for this organic section. The first thing to do to optimize our website is to make sure that we have site descriptions and titles on all of our pages. So you have your total description, which is the one that shows up on Google search. So for example, when you search my sister's gym, there is the site title, and then the URL, and then the description. Now, I didn't have a description for her set up yet, but I just made one, which is personal trainer, gym, and group workout classes in Hayward, California, because it's exactly what she does, and I put a location to it. You can mess around with this and just put, basically it's a description of what your website is all about, and you want to put keywords in there, things that you think people are going to search in order to find you. If you can add a localization to it, that's good, but if you're a fully online operation, then you don't put any kind of location. It's irrelevant. The other thing is each of your individual pages have SEO settings, which is descriptions. So here, for example, is the contact page, and you can see that the page title is contact, in order to contact TTG Fitness, and as you can see, it's on, when I do TTG Fitness contact, it comes up. Now you might be wondering, well, how come her main web page comes up first and her Yelp page comes up first? And the reason being is Google is a combination of making sure the keywords are there, like the words match, but they also factor in how popular a website is. So the fact that Yelp gets a lot more people browsing their website, Google basically thinks like, oh, this is a more relevant website because more people visit it, where there's probably less people visiting her website on a regular basis. So they go ahead and put this one above it. But it's a combination of the two things. So as she gets more popular, this will move up in the search results. Moving along to Squarespace, you would go into settings and you have your basic information, and here is your site description. So this is what will show up on Google for your main homepage for your business. So spend some time thinking about the description that you want for your web page and put it there. In a second, I'll give you some hints and some things to think about for that. And then again, back to the individual pages. For example, if you have let's just say this new page is actually our home page. So for the page, you have your navigation title, which is how it'll look like in the navigation bar on your website. Then you have the page title, which is right up here. See how it says new products? So that's what's going to say. That's what it will say when I'm on this particular page of my website. In this case, the home, it would just say home up there. Then you have your description, and this is back to Google. This is all this information here. So whatever you put there, when people go to this the home page, this will be your description for the home page. The URL slug is this right here. So it'll actually be, your website slash, and then it could just be home. So this is new right now. I probably want it to say home, or some people like the word index for home. That'll be what shows up there. So you need to fill out all these things here. The most important is the description, because you want to put some keywords in there of what your homepage is all about. So make sure you fill that out. Once you do that, just make sure you save it. Now, as far as deciding what, like let's say you have a whole section of your website selling quilts. You can use a lot of words, right? You can use the word quilt. You can use the word baby quilt. You could do homemade quilts. You could do like black quilts. And this website is called Google Trends and google.com/trends. And I changed this to the United States only because you could do worldwide, but I did the United States. And then I can use for the past 5 years, or I can just do for the past year. And as you can see, the word quilt is a way more popular search than the other ones. This is from a scale of 1 to 100, 100 being the maximum and then 0 being the minimum. So I'm going to delete this one because it's kind of skewing my results. But see, I might not want to use just the word quilt, because now when you search the word quilt, you have a lot of competition. Um, you have a lot of competition for that search. And as you can see, there's all sorts of quilts, and these websites like Wayfair and Bed Bath & Beyond and Macy's are going to have way higher ranking than you do, meaning Google says these are really reputable websites, and we're more likely to showcase them above yours when somebody searches quilt. So you want to look for keywords that are relevant, meaning you don't want to lie either. You don't just want to put words in there knowing that people might search them. They have to be true. Like if you don't sell black quilts, you can't put the word black quilts in your website. Google will actually discipline you for doing that, and they will flag your website. So you do not want to do that. There are some ways to kind of trick the system, and that's what I was talking about on the first class. But we're not going to do that. We're going to make an honest website here, and over time you will move up in the search results. So I'm going to remove quilts, and as you can see, the baby quilts is a pretty popular compared to the other two. So if I did have homemade quilts, I would probably put that in my site description for the section of my website that has homemade quilts. You have a couple of different strategies here. You can go after keywords that are really popular, hoping that people will stumble upon your website that way, but even though you have a lot of competition, or you can do, lower searched terms, knowing that you probably have less competition for those search terms, so people are more likely to see your site. I would experiment with this and see what kind of traffic you get. At the end of the day, you want to make sure you're getting relevant traffic though, because even if you're getting people to your website, if they leave your website immediately, then there was no point in getting that person to your website in the first place. So really you want to think about that as well, is make sure it's relevant, because if it's not relevant, yeah, sure, your traffic will go up, but your sales won't go up. Every image has something called an alt information, and what that is it's the alt text. It's the information that when you scroll over an image with your mouse on a web page, it's what shows there. But also Google reads, because Google robots can't see the actual picture, they're not smart enough to interpret the picture, but they do read the alt text. So Google is using that as keywords as well. So you want to make sure you on all your pictures, you double click them, you go to advanced, and you give them an alt text. Depending on the program, as you can see here, I have it on Squarespace. On Squarespace, it's actually the caption. So if this is a caption below, it's a cat, I would write cat here, and that's going to be the alt text on that. And then I just say do not display caption. But as you can see, I can hit apply, right? But if I go back into the image and I say do caption below, it still says the word cat, because that's how Squarespace does it. Is you have to pretend like you're going to make a caption, and then you got to say hide the caption, but there's still going to be an alt text there. I know it's a little confusing, but there's still the alt text there. Last thing that is important to do on your website is the different types of text. You have a heading 1, a heading 2, and heading 3. So the way you should build each web page is you should have your heading 1 at the top of the page, and it should have the overall theme of this entire page. But then within the page, you can have a second heading, which is a second part. So if this is the gallery page with pictures, I might have a gallery, and then I might have a slideshow as a heading 2, because within my gallery, I have the slideshow. I might also have a um, video a video section, and that would also be a heading 2. So I have a gallery, and Google will see the gallery as, whatever the name of my website is, gallery. And then if somebody searches those slideshow, or even maybe I do photos as one, they would come up as the second heading. And Google sees this. This is how Google organizes information. So make sure you organize it on your site so that Google can properly showcase your website through Google search. So I've been using Google this whole time because Google is the #1 search engine. As you can see, it has 1.6 billion estimated unique monthly visitors. Next up is Bing, and then Yahoo, and then Ask. So we want to make sure we're optimized for these three. So when you first create your website, you do actually, you don't have to do this. Google will eventually find your website on its own. It just does that. It can look out for new websites as you publish them. But if you want to make sure you get on Google, you can actually go to Google Webmaster Tools. What you do, Webmaster Tools, you create an account or use your existing Google account, and you're going to tell it, you're going to copy and paste a link to your website there. And then what that tells Google is like, you're asking Google, you're like, okay, I just finished my website. I have my SEO done. Would you please come and look at it and add it to your search engine? And so Google has these little robots that'll go over there and look at your website, and then will add you to the Google search. And it'll also tell you if you have any errors on your website. So for example, if it's not mobile optimized, or if there's some dead links or some things that aren't quite working right, it'll tell you to fix those. And then I went ahead and linked you to the next two as well. Bing and Yahoo have it as well. So Bing Webmaster Tools, just search Bing Webmaster Tools, create an account. All you have to do is, it's free. You just copy and paste your website, and it'll automatically add you to Bing. And then Yahoo has the same. Submit your site for free, and we'll add it to our Yahoo search. So search.yahoo.com/info/submit.html will do that for you. After your site is all optimized, just submit it, and as you get traffic, this is really going to help you in the search results. And there's some other things we're going to do later in this class, but that's the first step in getting yourself optimized. So congratulations if you made it this far, and let's keep moving. Let's keep moving. Good work. Good work.